it's time to get it lit. We got it hot like fever. I'm sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot, and you know we.
Hey everybody, it's the between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons.
It is a Chamber of Commerce afternoon here in the Peach State of Georgia. We've got the roof open, wide open, and we are ready for football at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Today we've got an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons.
Here we go. 50, plant.
Double time. Hey. Four down.
Get up.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
Now left side on the swing pass.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Back to throw. Bowen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season. And I guess, partner, you call that a coverage sack.
Oh, without a doubt, because where did he have to go with the football? I know everybody wants to get on him about, hey, get rid of the football. You had too much time in the pocket. But he's scanning the field, nowhere to go, and that allowed the pressure to ultimately get to him.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Miller now throwing on first down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. From 13 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
2nd and 5. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. And he got caught in between and created a foul.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. To throw on second down. Bowen, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back.
On 1st and 10. Bowen. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And to the 36-yard line. Taken down there after getting 8 yards. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Looking to throw. Miller. Johnson's got it complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 15 yards, 1st down, Atlanta. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I can be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week. But the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Miller. He's going to look deep for more. And the defense loses him. It's complete. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll be out right at the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running with Kamara. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score Falcons 14.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a man open down the middle of the field. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 39 yards there, a big one.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
2nd and 9 now. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Now Miller from the gun, he'll throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Marcus Williams. They were looking for Johnson that time. They've got a pretty comfortable lead right now, but maybe a little too careless with the football that time for the rookie.
I think the key word there is comfortable. And there's 2 schools of thought on it. With that type of a lead, maybe you can take a few more chances because you have a cushion. Others will tell you, don't eat up the cushion with careless play. He'll learn to rock.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you're talking about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of the season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Well, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Hey, Haywood.
Miller looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here's Miller throwing on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. This is caught. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for the Saints. 58 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Michael Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Back to throw. Miller. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Go! 60 out,
On first down, Bowen. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Let's go!
2nd and 2. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's 3rd and short. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Bowen. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They'll run it with Kamara, hammering for the goal line. He loses the football, and the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board.
Here we go. 60 or.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen, because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So we are at halftime here. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on
here's nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. They only needed a couple, but the blocking was good, and, of course, you can't tamp him down when he gets past that line of scrimmage.
No, and guess what? Not only were they physical at the point of attack, they executed so well. That's what you have to do in short yardage situations. Everyone has to be in the right spot, taking on a defender to give him the chance that they did, and he took full advantage of it.
It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Johnson, the intended target. That'll bring up second down.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Complete, it's Johnson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A 10th carry for Kamara, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Back to throw. Bowen. Open man is Michael Thomas. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Miller now to throw on 2nd down. He finds his man Johnson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Alex Anzalone in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw. Miller. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case,
and he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Eli Apple. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down. Bowen gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Kamara out of the pistol. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Saints on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Bowen. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Here's Kamara off the draw. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Looking long. This is caught inside the 15. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath and you're...
Kamara has it stripped. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. That turnover might just about do it here. Fourth quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the... In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Cameron Jordan wreaking havoc with a sack.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Now Miller looking to throw on second down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. 22 yards there, a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Back to throw. Miller, now he's forced out left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Looking to throw. Miller. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen to Smith. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Back to throw. Miller. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
60 Pittsburgh.
Here we go.
5.
Miller on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Looking to throw. Bowen. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Bowen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bowen. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
The good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And possession will switch hands. First and 10. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Miller on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say...
And he loses the football a second time. And the Falcons say they have it, they do. And I don't know that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th, it doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Ready.
47 is the mic. Target, 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 target. 47.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for third down. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Miller now, operating from the gun. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And his kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And one of the whistles for timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
To throw on third down. Bowen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual
it.
Guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Atlanta, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll